It is no pleasure of mine to announce to you or to remind all of us here that we live in perilous times. We live in the times where 3,000 naira can no longer prepare for you a pot of soup, a pot of specifically afang soup that we all know in our Akwa State. We live in times where most students are finding it very difficult to feed, in times where parents find it very difficult to pay school fees, in times where fathers will have to gnash their teeth, watching their families go to bed without food. We live in times where young men can no longer afford pocket money for their girlfriends. When you see young boys, when you see children come washing your cars with liquid Saika soap, and you have to give them some chicken money that washing those cars for as little as 10 naira, you will know that indeed the hard times are here with us. And so perilous times call for urgent concerns, and that is why we are here. I'm here to support the idea and the belief that indeed in 2023, we need a money bag. We need a money bag, someone I would also call a big daddy like this. I'm aware that technocrats they will come telling you stories of need for policies, long-term policies, but in these times, that is exactly not what we need. We need someone who will bring joy. We need somebody who will bring happiness, who will bring happiness to homes. We need someone who will make boys and girls smile to the bank. We don't need people who will come telling us long stories. We don't need people with speech prowess. We don't need someone with a box full of certificates from Harvard School. We need someone who understands the season we are in. And the only person that understands that is a money bag, a big daddy such as this gentleman seated by my side, and possibly you can call me Big Mommy. So, going forward, we know our speech-making brothers and sisters, believers in the technocracy, would like to tell you that we need policies, sustainable development plans, and all of that. And they will tell you that these things would need time. Take, for example, a 100-year economic plan. I'm sure in 100 years, all of us here would have gone and become ancestors. But we need someone who understands the need to bring not just a long-term sustainable project, but someone who understands the need to fill the temporary gap of satisfying the hunger need. Thank you. Thank you so much.
First speaker on the other side.
Leadership
has. Sorry, first speaker on this side. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I am very happy to be representing the technocrats in this debate. First of all, what is technocracy, or what is the foundation for technocracy? Technocracy is a Greek term derived from the word skill. Very simple. What does it mean to be skilled? To be skilled means to have expertise and to be competent. My good sister on the other side, I've talked about us needing a money bag for the 2023 elections. And I'm here to ask her, have we not had money bags in the past years, and is that not why Nigeria is the way it is? When we talk of money bags, we're talking of someone that is spending money before the elections, throwing money on the streets, and when the person gets into the actual seat of position of leadership, nothing is done. The bag becomes closed. A technocrat is someone that has had at least 10 or 20 years of experience in a particular field. It could be in leadership, it could be in public service, it could also be in any kind of professional area of endeavor and work. Now, what is a technocrat in a democratic society as us? A technocrat is going to ensure that we work with data, and not just data, but data that is going to change lives and policies. Let us look at the example of China. China is as progressive as it is today because they have technocrats as leaders. It is a question of a square hole, putting a square peg there in its proper place, not putting a round peg in a square hole. Look at the example of Greece. For all we know that Greece is the mother of democracy. But because they've seen a need for changing from the normal politicians, they've had to bring in technocrats into the system of government, and they've had changes. Technocrats can be found all over the world. For instance, in the Scandinavian nations like New Zealand. I can go on and on with examples. But Nigeria, for it to progress, we need technocrats. Now, not just professional politicians or people that are throwbacks or, like we say, the big daddy. If we are going to rise as a people, I'm not just talking about the political rising, but the rising in terms of policies, in terms of our livelihood. We have young persons that are here today. This speech will not be necessary today if we had technocrats in the system of government making rules that favor everybody and not those that are cornering the monies into their bag. Now, the money bags are not just here to share the money, but after they share the money, they go into the system, they have to recruit back their money and put in their pockets. And so if you ask me, we need people that are skilled, competent, and with proper expertise in leadership and in all circles of work necessary. If we are going to have a commissioner in the government, we need someone that commissioner has to be competent, and not just because the money bag found it necessary to bring his brother or his cousin to take the place. It has to be people that are competent and skillful in the work that they do. And so the 2023 choice for us is not a question of who spends the most money or who has the deeper pocket. It's who has the best interest of the people at heart, and also who has the capacity to make policies based on data and competency. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Second speaker, Team 1.
Leadership is about calling others to join with you to lead them to a vision that is shared. Solomon prayed to God and said, "Do not make me to be too rich, nor poor to steal. If I'm rich, I may forget you." In Nigeria, we have the base of the laws. We have the base of the principles settled in already. So at this point, we realize that we need a money bag. Who is a money man? A wealthy man who has succeeded in his business and realizes that community service is about giving out. We're not talking just about the electioneering processes. We're talking about the leadership process, where no one would tell me, "I don't need your money, but I need to give you services." A technocrat, like my colleague had said, a man with toolbox, most often a professional, is always looking forward to making his 10%. So in every deal that he comes, he calls his friends. They sit in, take the 10%, even take 20, and they will still lie to you that they have not taken your money. We will not see when they take the money. At least we've had technocrats. Presently, we are experiencing technocrats. A technocrat comes to tell me that sustainable development means preserving for the future. A money bag tells me eat and remain a little. So we need a money bag because we are already a wealthy people. Nigeria has a capital of human resources. We also have resources in terms of natural resources. So if not a money bag, we will keep remaining where we are, talking about technocracy. Technocracy is very close to monarchy. But a money bag man knows that he has to share the money to the street. We have 70 years plus to live. And if we do not take care of our resources to make us feel fine, we may also cheat our children's future. Please, give me a money bag as a governor.
Team 2.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Passion Bus, for organizing this. Thank you, judges. Thank you, distinguished members of the audience. Well, I think this is not a question of choosing between the devil and the deep blue sea. It's a choice of, it's the issue of choosing between good and evil. Money bag politics is illegal. So it's our place to decide if we want to continue with illegalities. Now, that's the truth. It's a matter of choosing between good and evil. Now, it is so bad that there is a peg, even in our electoral laws, don't spend beyond this, because they know it is not right. So if it was correct, why did they have to include that in the electoral law? I'm not basing my argument on emotions. I'm basing it on fact. Now look at Nigeria. We have money bags who come to invest. When the person gets to office, they want to get in returns, and we go back home empty. If we have technocrats, people, for example, as it is, I would want to contest an election in Nigeria, but I can't go, no matter how sound I am, because I don't have the money. When I get into the street, people will cheer me. When it's time for voting, they will say, "Where is the money?" And they end up having the wrong people in the right offices. That is why we are where we are today. Money bag politics has reduced Nigeria from even before we got independence. It happened before now. Now go back into history. You see why Nigeria is the way we are today. We are in a mess because we so much value what we don't look at capacities. We look at what we can get momentarily. So it's better we look at long plans. What is good for everybody, not what is good for you. By the time you collect that #1, after elections, when they get into office, it is over. They've just concluded they have paid you. You have their dues. We paid you for you. We paid you to vote, so I can do whatever. And you can't hold them accountable. So I think we need technocrats who know what the people need, so they can provide solutions to our problems. Thank you very much.
You have just 1 minute. So you decide who does this for your teams.
Okay. These people keep talking about they are trying to blackmail money bags, that we are illegal people. That is very wrong. The technocrat goes into power pretending he's going to solve the problem. We have them plenty in this country. We currently have one in this state. And we know that these people care only about their private businesses. We want a money bag who will come, empower our mothers in the market to sell, a money bag who will come give students bursaries, a money bag who will come, give ICT people seats for their technology. We need a money bag who indeed understand that there's a need for palliative while we wait for the vehicle that will take us to that El Dorado. On the other hand, technocrats don't understand the language of palliatives. We need a money bag. Of course, we all know that money bags are people who are empathetic. They understand the situation. We need no other arguments, no other plea. On this matter, we stand on big daddies and big mommies. Thank you.
Rebuttal, 1 minute.
Okay, so thank you very much. I like what my sister has said so far, but this is me actually thinking not just because of my future, but for the future of my children, my grandchildren, and those that are coming after me. Being a technocrat does not mean you are poor. It does not mean you don't have the resources to also spend in election. Now, being a technocrat means that you have the required skill and competency as well as the money. But a money bag might just be someone whose primary goal in life is just politics. He's been playing politics from when he was a child to when he's an adult. There is no source of livelihood. So all of his gains and looking into is in politics. Now, a technocrat is not just going to come and share the money. A technocrat is going to look at how can we make sure that everybody eats. When it comes to sharing money, not everybody is going to have the money. But a technocrat is going to look at this street needs to be fixed. We need to have street lights to avoid issues. We need to have farmers. Farmers need to have fertilizers. Now, a technocrat with data and policies. And for God's sake, look at Nigeria. We are people without data and policies, and that is why we are sinking. The world has moved ahead and left us. Look at New Zealand, and I'm going to use the example of New Zealand. Look at the example of Russia. Look at the example of Germany. We have technocrats world all over. So this is my petition to all of you here. Please choose a technocrat over a money bag. Thank you very much.
Don't worry. The judges will begin to do their work. But I have a question for all of you. We're done with the debates. Shall we please put our hands together for them? Before we have the spoken word artist and Bobby Frigga come to us a song, I would like all of you here to make comments on the fact that the governor says that he has heard God. And after hearing God, he has presented someone and says that that is his succession plan. So my question is it wrong for the governor to think of a succession plan and have one? Or is it a problem with the succession plan?
There's a big difference between a monarchy and a democratic leader. Democracy, the one we are supposed to practice, has to be with protocol that has to do with consultation. It should be an inclusive governance. And then the one we just saw happen on Sunday, where a few sat without the consent of others and made a choice, is why people are crumbling. A governor has the right, as an individual, to make a succession plan. But he must adhere to the regular practices of internal party democracy, where those who have stake in it are core. Because in democracy, the few would have to have their voice, the minority would have to have their say, while the majority have their way. So when things are not done this way, you see, it reverts us to where the man sits. Even in England, United Kingdom, where we have the monarchy, it's a constitutional monarchy. Yes, the Queen sits just as the head, whereas constitutional power is given to the legislature, the minister is there to act. So no one man can act for others and begin to say that he thinks for all of us. I think good of you. Thousands of you in this room. My brain alone cannot think for you except or otherwise. I'm able to rally your consent through consultations, and you say, okay, this is what we want, this is what we want, and we sum up that there are 3 choices or 2 choices. As a leader, I finally say, okay, do we put to a vote? This one goes because there is a majority who consents to it.
Thank
so
you.
The trouble with the current practice, where one man hears from God for everybody else. I'm a Christian, and my God speaks to me. It's about our future. We should be involved in the process of someone emerging, whereby state fund is going to be used to suppress our silent voices. At this time, we don't have voice, but we can shout out and be heard.
My friend here, Nete, talked about either democracy or monarchy. I'm even thinking, my opinion on this matter is that we are officially operating theocracy. That is, government with a state supported religion. Meaning that the leaders will hear from God and tell you what God is saying. I'm now suggesting all of us, since we are officially operating theocracy, we all need to get our Bibles. If you don't have one, that should be our constitution. When the leaders say, "Thus say the Lord," you too should open to a place where God also says that woe, tells you that woe unto leaders who do not believe in, who don't carry out righteous acts, who don't do justice to the poor, who don't allow me and you to have our voices in a democratic, regime. So it's actually the time. It calls for concerns. I believe all of us here, if you don't have your PVC, please go get one. Mobilize your friends and families to go get their PVC. And then I would like to encourage every other political parties to strive to present to the people at least alternative, credible, preferable choices.
All right, so I'm going to just continue from where Barrister Nete spoke. So I don't think there is anything wrong with the governor saying, this is who I want to succeed in. I mean, he has the right to do that. But what matters in all of this, and this is where the noise is really getting to me, is the governor has done his own. It is left for us, the people, to decide who we want to be our governor. It's a very simple thing. It's an issue of mathematics. The governor brings out somebody, fine. Who are we going to support? The person the governor brought out or the other person? It's very simple. So it is our voice that is going to determine whether the governor's choice stands or not. And I love this state for a reason. We have shown over time that we are not a people led by one person. We have fought it, and I can give you names. From 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when one person wants to bring out a leader, the state will say, no, you cannot impose someone on us, and then they fight it. Why can't we do it again? Why is this time different? The government should have a field day parading his persons around, but we need to now say, look, this is not who we want, and we are going to show that by going to vote. These are a question of, they're going to carry the ballot box and run. I've been involved in a lot of electoral processes. And why do these things happen? Because there's so many votes, there's so many, what they call it, the electoral papers. Nobody comes out to vote. So they have access to use and do as they like. So if we all go out to append our voices, make a decision, whether it is for party A or PDP or APC or whatever electoral party, it is us that is going to have the final say. And we need to mobilize amongst ourselves. This is our future they're joking with. So these guys are done with their own. This is our future they're joking with now. Look at our company in the next 8 years. What do you see? A state that is ruled by someone that is just going to be playing God and using the slogan for religious slogans to do evil. Look around you at that, what they call the place, Dodoma. We have a big, monstrous building for nothing. You say you want to build a place for God. And when the government made this statement, he said he wants to build a place for God because God does not have a resting place. That is an insult to all of us, if you ask me. We don't have jobs. We don't have good roads. Look, the roads you see here at Child's Place, these are not good roads. We don't have street lights. In the night, you can drive around and the lights are not working. Basic things. So we should not be using this thing to make memes and joke about. The governor decided, do we want someone to continue in the governor style, or do we have someone that we trust? And let us make an assessment. Who among these people that are contesting do we trust to deliver the mandate that we want to see? And we pull in behind that person and support. A simple game of maths, and we have our way. Thank you very much.
I don't know, to me, I've made comments on this in Sunday nights. On Facebook, if you go to my timeline, everything is about 2023. In fact, was it Monday or Tuesday, I had to switch off my phone because the calls were becoming too much. And when I came back online, I had to put it on. My lines are now open, start calling again. It's a simple thing. It's sad when people know the truth and they refuse to say it. Because, sorry, I'm not dragging us back to the debate because you want to get money from someone. You just want to tag along, irrespective of your conscience and emotions. It is wrong. It is wrong. See, democracy is very simple. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. It is very simple. Now, there was an EXCO retreat before this thing happened. It's well reported. They asked who and who will run for election. The person you brought did not raise his hand. How come God is telling you that he's the person that is... I don't want to get angry. So, sorry. You don't have interest to contest. So God is not a God is a very serious being. Oh. We shouldn't be joking with God. Seriously, we shouldn't joke with God. Now we have a role to play in all this. We have a role to play. I've not been a partisan person from time immemorial. I support good causes. I've always believed in what is right. If you'd like, just point gun here. I'll tell you what is right. You kill me thereafter. Nobody has been feeding me, so I'll still say what I'm supposed to say. I'm not begging you for money. Now it's upon the youth to just stick to their guns. When that thing happened, the easiest way to know the pulse of the people, go online. I put up a poll. It's there. Go and see the results. Now, am I paying those people to vote for whoever they voted for? No. That is the pulse of the people. And I sent a challenge. Those that, and then there's essay on screenshots, do a screenshot and give to His Excellency. Let him see. No, if there are screenshots or other things, there is no reason why you should not see this screenshot. This is the most important screenshot. Do you understand? I'm not saying that the government has no right. I'm not saying, but it's a process. You politics, you lobby. Now let this guy say he will contest. Let him go around. Let him spend money and consult us. Let us see him. When we now support him, I say, okay, between these three, I go for this one.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause. Thank you very much. Please rise. Yes, please. Before we take the announcement of the results, all of them, Onyeka Aja is a spoken word artist. She will take a moment to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a picture together. Yes. The money bag, until they tell us who won, whether it's the money bag or the Technocrats will be here. Onyeka Aja, please be on standby. The next is your turn. The results are coming.
This pity for us, politicians. This pity for us, oh no.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for that segment.